The hell of the north. Paris-Roubaix Femmes avec Zwift. One of the most daunting yet exciting races in the women's pro calendar. Whilst the men's Paris-Roubaix is one of the oldest races in the calendar, even older than the Tour de France in fact, the women had to wait 117 years to get their own race. And the first edition did not disappoint. It really was the hell of the north. And then finishing on this iconic Roubaix velodrome, it has to be one of the most exciting bike races I've ever seen. Riders have to be brave, hard as nails, battling it out over bone-rattling cobbles. And in 2021, the women's pro peloton finally got to experience the hell of the north for the very first time. And it didn't disappoint. It was one of the most memorable bike races of the year. And the second edition this year is going to be even better. I've been lucky enough to be invited along to the recon of the race with one of the most dominant teams in women's cycling in 2022. This year, Zwift have stepped on board as the first ever presenting partner to the race. Now this is a big deal for women's racing and the sport in general. To have Zwift, a big company, put their money where their mouth is and support women's racing is fantastic. And they've even gone as far as supporting the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift as well, which is great. Go on, Zwift. I also spoke to Ashley Moulin-Passio, a rider for SD Worx and also the first ever esports world champion. I wanted to pick her brains and find out why she thinks an online training platform is partnering with Paris-Roubaix and how she feels indoor training on Zwift has helped her when it comes to the road season.
I was introduced to Zwift during the COVID pandemic. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I'm really happy with the outcome, you know, of using Zwift racing, preparing for the real life racing, because I've definitely seen a massive boost in my strength, you know, because you don't have to worry about anything else like safety or cars or traffic or anything like that. You can really channel all your focus into getting the best out of your workout. And so I've seen this in particular in Zwift racing, you know, that I've managed to go deeper than I've ever gone before in the real world because I can channel every ounce of energy into getting the best out of my performance. I think that Zwift is particularly powerful in growing female participation and also growing confidence amongst women. I think that one of the biggest blocks for women taking up cycling is that it can be a really intimidating sport, you know, and to feel a little bit more confident to try new things. Yeah, I mean, I really believe in the power of the virtual world and Zwift in particular for growing female participation.
Today I'm going to find out what goes on a recon ride, how they prepare for the race, what the riders think of the course and some of the challenges of the hell of the north. But first, let's start off by having a look at the course. So it's a very similar route to last year, so most of the riders will know what to expect. The only difference being is that there's an extra lap around Denner at the start, making it a total of 124 kilometres. They will have 17 cobblestone sectors to tackle, and that totals up to 29.2 kilometres of which are cobbled. And then of course finishing on the infamous Roubaix velodrome. Paris-Roubaix Femmes avec Zwift is one of those races where bike tech really does play a big part in the race. It can be the difference between winning and losing the race. So let's have a look at what bikes the team is going to be using today. And this is the Specialized SD Worx Roubaix, a little bit different to the tarmac that they usually ride for the rest of the season. This bike is specially built to deal with the cobbles. It's got a tiny bit of suspension in the rear seat post and in the front cockpit here to help make it a little bit smoother on the cobbles. And the front cockpit actually has a lock on the top cap there, so they can lock the suspension off when they're on the nice smooth road. They've also got shifters on the top as well, so they can easily change gears when they're riding on the top of the handlebars. The girls are running specialised turbo tyres in a 30mm width, so a little bit wider than they usually use. The mechanic was telling me they'd usually go for a 28s, but they've gone a little bit wider for this one. They can't actually tell me what tyre pressure they're riding today, but that is something they're going to test out on the recon ride today. Also on these bikes, they've got different handlebar tape too. Now this handlebar tape is a lot thicker and a lot softer to help protect the hands because they are gonna be sore at the end of today. And how nice is this custom paintwork on this bike? I'm very jealous. So the team have got the full shebang here today, as if it was race day. They've got 2 team cars following, they've got the team bus, they've got the mechanics, they've got all the team bikes, as well as a lot of photographers here too, to get all the action. So today I'm going to be jumping in the team car and swinging into full DS mode and dishing it out. Only joking, this is serious stuff. I need to be on best behaviour. I would ride with the team, but I didn't really enjoy riding on the cobbles last time. I'm going to jump in there today. Okay, so just over 1 hour into the recon ride now, and we've done a few cobble sections. We've just come off this cobble section here, and one of the girls have had a puncture, so we've had to stop. Mechanics swung into duty and changing the wheel, but it's absolutely crazy the speeds they're going over the cobbles now, and this is just a recon ride. This isn't the race, and it's really fun to watch from the comfort of the car. These cobble sections are not built for little bike tyres, they're built for big tractors and farm vehicles, but one day a year, the most historic bike race comes on them, and it is crazy. It's definitely one of my favourite races to watch, because it finishes on a velodrome as well. Okay, so I'm with Lars, a former pro and a DS for the team. How did the recon go today?
Quite well. It was a fast one today. We had backwind, and all the cobblestones were quite nice. I think not too muddy, but yeah, I think we changed some things on the bikes, changed some tire pressure, so it was a good recon.
And how important is it to do a recon of a big race like this?
It's always good, I think, to refresh up the memory and to see the parcours and where you go left, right, and how the couples are, where you want to ride. So I think in the end it's always good to refresh your memory and things like this. And yeah, also you have a new bike this year as well, of course, and then yeah, feel that bike again. So it's all quite important. Yeah.
What kind of rider do you need to be able to win Paris-Roubaix?
Yeah, you need to have a lot of power, I think, on the bike, and you need to be smart as well in this race. I think especially like today, it's backwind, but also a little bit crosswind. But you need to be strong, and you need to be in a really good shape to win this race, I think. Yeah.
You also have to be pretty tough, because those cobbles, they're not easy, are they?
No, you have to be tough for sure. You need to be have a fresh mental health as well, I think, to when you start this race, and you need to be ready to fight, I think, and that's really important in this race. If you're already mentally tired a little bit, then you won't win this race, I think.
And it's great to finally see a women's Paris-Roubaix for the women.
Yeah,
what does that mean for women's sport?
Yeah, it means a lot, I think, especially with Paris-Roubaix, and this year also Tour de France, of course. It takes the sport to a next level, I think, and that's really good for women's cycling. Yeah.
And also Zwift are stepping up as one of the partners to the race. And how big is it to have, such a big company like Zwift support women's cycling?
Yeah, quite big, I think. I think what you see with Ashley Morman in our team, she does a lot of Zwift rides, and it's good to see that you. I think try to get more women on the bike, especially, for example, with Lotte Kopecky in our team now, and in Belgium she's doing a really good job to get the young girls on the bike, and it's nice to see. Yeah.
One of the perks of being in the car. Okay, so we're just under 50 kilometres to go now with the recon, and we've just pulled over. The girls want to do some tweaks to their bikes, change the saddle height and test some different tyre pressures, which is very exciting. But these bikes only get ridden at this race, so they don't get to ride them all year round. They do have one at home they get to ride, but this is their race one, so they just need to make some adjustments to make sure it's perfect for race day. But it's great being in the team car. I've had some pastries, I've just been chilling out, relaxing, but the cobbles are actually quite bumpy in the car as well. which I wasn't expecting, but a lot more comfortable than being on the bike, I'm sure. How was the recon ride today?
Yeah, the recon ride today was really good. The course is similar to last year's, which really helped to recognize the things much quicker.
And now that you've had a few days for your win at Flanders to settle in, how was it? How was the win, and how was it winning in the Belgium national champion jersey?
Yeah, winning Flanders and the way we did it on Sunday was it's really something you cannot put into words. But yeah, it's a huge win, and also for all these Belgian fans in this national jersey is yeah, it was a very special day.
And you've had two big wins this season already, Strade Bianche and Flanders. What one was your favourite?
Yeah, my favourite is Tour of Flanders, of course.
And you're settling into SD Worx pretty well. What's it like having, all the team support you, and is it quite a lot of pressure?
For me, it feels really natural. You should think that there's more pressure now, but actually it's completely opposite. I think mostly because we have more riders who can win the race and finish it off, and I mean the pressure is not all on my shoulders, and that really helps.
Looking ahead to Roubaix, you're one of the favourites going into the race. How does that feel?
Yeah, going into this race as a favourite again, I don't know if it's worth a lot, because in this race can happen so much. I mean, one flat tire can be already the end of your race. So yeah, it's a big part of good luck is very crucial in this race.
Do you think this year's Roubaix will be any different to last year's?
Last year I think we already had the worst that we could have in Roubaix. But yeah, it's all depending on the weather, the wind direction, so that's crucial.
And then looking ahead to the Tour de France Femmes, how do you feel about that race? Is that a race that excites you, or maybe you might be a contender wearing a yellow jersey?
Yeah, I don't know. First, I want to finish off Paris-Roubaix in a good way, and then have some rest, and then I start focusing on Tour de France. So it's not really on my mind at the moment. See ya.
From watching the girls ride on the cobbles today, they were so impressive. These girls have serious skill, because to ride on cobbles, it is hard. Your little bike tyres and cobbles put together, it just throws you around all over the place. But the girls, they were just gliding over the cobbles. And I'd say that you have to train pretty hard to be able to ride on cobbles. It takes a lot of getting used to how to ride on them, where to ride, and how to position yourself and get used to getting thrown around on the bike. But it's actually Matt Hayman that proves my method wrong, because he actually had quite a big crash 6 weeks out of Paris-Roubaix, and Paris-Roubaix was his favourite race of all time, and he really wanted to win it, and 6 weeks out he broke his arm. He rode Zwift for 5 weeks before Paris-Roubaix, pure Zwift twice a day, then went and won Paris-Roubaix. And that's pretty amazing, without actually riding on the cobbles or doing a recon of the race, just pure Zwifting. Then went and won. Some of the training sessions that Matt Hayman did on the run-up to Paris-Roubaix on Zwift are actually on the training section on Zwift. So if you want to try them out, head over there and do so. But I have to warn you, they are savage, not for the faint-hearted. What a great day having an insight into the recon of Paris-Roubaix Femmes avec Zwift with SD Worx. It's been amazing, and it's been quite nice, sat in the comfort of a nice warm car. But in all seriousness, these girls are seriously impressive. They were going so quickly over these cobbles, and they weren't even racing. But it was great to get an insight and finish at such a historic velodrome. Let me know down in that comment section below what you thought of the recon, and make sure to watch over on GCN Plus, live and on demand. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a big like and let me know what you thought of the video down in that comment section below. And if you want to see more cool content like this, you know what to do, hit that subscribe button.